Alright, folks. Time to settle in. Tonight, we're talking about something profoundly clean, or perhaps profoundly gross. The subject is hygiene. Just take a deep breath, and for a minute, just let go of worrying about your own bathroom. We have this deeply ingrained idea that the past was just one giant, muddy, smelly disaster. Like, if you went back to the Middle Ages, everyone was just perpetually sticky and maybe a little dusty. It's a cozy myth, but honestly, it's mostly wrong. We're going to look at just how much effort people put into not smelling like wet wool and total disappointment. Let's check in on our friend Publius. He's a Roman citizen. And for Publius, bathing isn't a task you squeeze in between doom scrolling and dinner. It is the day. It is the absolute center of the universe. Publius wakes up, maybe deals with one or two slaves, and then heads straight to the thermae, the public baths. He doesn't go there just to get clean. He goes there to live, to exist, to socialize. He works out. He gets a quick haircut. He has a crucial business meeting in the damp, echoing caldarium. That's the hot room. And then he gets clean. Sort of. The actual cleaning part is highly awkward. You don't use soap, because soap is for German barbarians who don't know better. You cover yourself in olive oil, and then you have a slave, or sometimes a friend, which is weird. Scrape it all off with a curved metal tool called a strigil. Think of it as a squeegee for your body oil and dead skin, removing the residue of the day. Pause for 5 seconds. Just imagine that scraping sound echoing off the slick marble walls. Very, very relaxing. And here's the really crazy part. While Publius is having his oil scraped off, Rome itself is handling water and sewage better than some cities today. You have the Aqua Appia, the famous aqueduct system, bringing in millions of gallons of fresh mountain water every single day. This water flushes the famous Cloaca Maxima, the Great Sewer, out to the Tiber River. The city is fundamentally clean. The city probably smelled better than most modern European capitals did in the 1700s, honestly. But Publius's apartment, that's where the trouble starts. He lives in an insula, a multi-story apartment block. He likely does not have an indoor toilet in that tiny unit. So, after a night of beer and olives, maybe a few too many, he often just tosses his chamber pot out the window. Yes, out the window, hopefully. He yells, "Look out." First, you can imagine how much that little detail added to the overall serene and calming atmosphere of the street level for anyone walking by. Now, fast forward 1,000 years to the medieval period. We love to think everyone just gave up entirely. Total, catastrophic loss of hygiene motivation. But that is not quite right. Monasteries, especially, were these bizarre cleanliness islands. They had elaborate washrooms called lavatoria. Why? Because their entire job was to be calm and orderly. They valued quiet and routine. You simply cannot have a peaceful, quiet, religious experience if you constantly smell Brother Gregory's unwashed feet and stale robes. The problem wasn't a lack of knowledge or a lack of desire. It was simply a catastrophic lack of infrastructure. The Roman plumbing was gone. It had literally crumbled. So while you might be personally clean in your nice little castle, the town right outside your gates was probably relying on the goodwill of local pigs to deal with the garbage. And pigs, while useful in a pinch, are not, and have never been, a municipal sanitation department. So there you have it. Hygiene, the ultimate symbol of civilization. We learned that being clean isn't a modern invention. It is a massive, complex, and surprisingly oily endeavor. You might not have a slave scraping your dead skin off tonight, but you do have a nice modern bed and clean running water, a small, delightful luxury that even Publius would envy. Let that strange historical thought sink in now. You are probably cleaner than an ancient Roman senator, and you had to do almost none of the work. You've done your job now. Let's just let your mind drift away from all that weird historical gunk. go to sleep. Good night.